Hello guys, welcome back. My name's Lewis. It's been a while and I'm here with a brand new kind of video. I figured I'd give it a try and see how it goes. So I'm a pretty big fan of movies. I watch a lot of movies in a year and I keep up with a bunch of movie news. I thought that it would be a good time to talk about a big decision that happened in the movie industry that has pretty much finished wrapping up its story. And that, of course, is about HBOMAX and their decision to release simultaneously both on streaming and movie theaters their biggest, at least one of their biggest movies once per month, and sometimes it was two. It included movies. It started with Wonder Woman back in December of 2020. Then we got things like Mortal Kombat, Dune, and recently The Matrix. And that's really kind of the reason why I'm making the video, The Matrix, because now that that has finished wrapping up, talk about how that arrangement actually went. If you remember, back in summer or the beginning of fall of 2020, Warner Bros. Released the announcement that they would be doing same-day releases for all their films alongside HBO Max with theatrical. And if you remember, they I think they got sued by, was it shareholders or a creator? I can't remember. I know New is his last name, I believe. I know he was upset. I know Patty Jenkins was upset with Wonder Woman, and there was a whole storm right after it released. They had board meetings with people, and a whole bunch of news came out. But now that it's over for the 2021 period they announced, I think it's a good time to look back on it and see how that went. So if you remember, the first movie they started with was, of course, Wonder Woman. Back in December of 25th, I believe they released it. Was it or before or after Christmas? Wonder Woman got mixed receptions, and it didn't do much box office wise. Of course, nothing at that time was doing well box office wise. Then we got, as we moved along through the year, we went through Mortal Kombat. It also did not do well with critics, and it also did not do well box office wise in the theaters. That's Suicide Squad. That did better with critics and audiences, but it didn't do very well depending on how you look at it. But most people agree it didn't do as well as it could have in the theaters as well. Terrible movies like Tom and Jerry and a few small movies that no one really talked about, but the big ones that people were looking forward to were Wonder Woman, then Mortal Kombat, Godzilla, Dune, Matrix, the Suicide Squad, and I think there was one more that I'm forgetting. I think The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Was that the movie? Or I'm mixing that up. Anyways, so throughout the year as those movies released, they always had the excuse that they released during the pandemic. So their poor theater numbers, their poor theater performance could be blamed on the pandemic. But recently, we just had a great movie release in Spider-Man No Way Home, which broke all kinds of box office records. And then a week after, we have the Matrix 4 release and completely flop. You start to wonder how many of the movies HBO released same day would have had a similar fate as The Matrix. The Matrix can't blame the pandemic for poor box office performance because literally last week, Spider-Man broke them all. But the other ones have always had that buffer of, well, it's the pandemic and we were released same day. And when you see how things go, it makes you wonder, it's a good thing we didn't go to the theater to see some of those HBO movies, because personally, everyone has different movie opinions, so if you love them all, that's great for you. But the only one I can say I enjoyed, I liked Wonder Woman 2 okay. It had a lot of problems though, so I was like, okay, it's fine. Then Mortal Kombat was disappointing. Tom and Jerry, that was just terrible. I like Godzilla vs. King Kong. It was a pretty fun movie. I don't know. Some people, I guess, were expecting different things from it, but I got exactly what I expected from it. So I consider it a fun movie. I know it wasn't very good per se, but fun movie. So I'm happy that came out. Then we had something like The Suicide Squad, which I really liked. James Gunn did a pretty great job with it. It had problems, of course, but I think as far as superhero movies go, it had interesting things in it. So I'm glad that one came out. Then we had Dune. Really enjoyed it. Me and my girlfriend watched it together. We both liked it. We're excited to see what comes next if it gets a sequel. Again, because of the box office performance of that one, they blamed it on same day release. It did well for the first week, then fell off the second week, and then they say, oh well, if we hadn't come out on HBOMAX, it would have been better. Well, we'll never know, I guess. They has again some smaller movies that don't really, I never really heard anybody talk about in any capacity. And then of course they finish out the year with The Matrix, and yikes. That is a bad way to end the deal. Because technically from the start of Wonder Woman in December to the end of The Matrix in December and the releases is about a year. And so in the whole year process, I only liked about 4 of the movies they released, 4, maybe 5. And you gotta wonder, what was the point of it all? I mean, I guess it's a good thing they didn't release in theatrically, because for some of those movies, they just would not have been worth it. Even pandemic or no pandemic, they just wouldn't have been worth it to go to a theater to watch it. So, I got 4 movies out of it. We think about it in a mathematical sense. I would have paid what, about $30-$40 to go see them for 2 tickets to go see them individually. So that's 4 movies. Let's say 5 for the sake of it. So 5 movies. Would have paid about $40 without snacks, and you get what, 40 times 5, $200. Compare that to a year-long HBO Max subscription, which is, I believe, they bring down the rate, so you look it up. Okay, so it's $150 per year if you get it for a year. So, I mean, technically speaking, say $50. That's not too bad. Again, great if all those movies that they have coming out were fantastic and would have been great to go see in the theaters, and that way you could say, oh, I really saved a lot from their same day release. But for me, it's about 5. Let's say 5. So it saved me $50 technically. I don't think I would have gone to the theater more than once for any of those movies. Even The Suicide Squad, I don't think I would have seen in the theater more than once. Not Dune, definitely not Godzilla, not Wonder Woman. No, I don't think I would have gone to the theater more than once for any of them. So that's around what it came out to be. That is gone. I'm wondering, what will HBOMAX do next? Because some of those, is it better to have a movie be like The Matrix, where, yeah, release the same day, but if there was excitement to go see in the theaters, it would have made more money. And you know that because of Spider-Man No Way Home. And yeah, that didn't release digitally either, but if there was even a little bit of excitement to see Matrix 4, it would have made way more money than it did when it came out. Doom proves that, because Doom made money even though it came out the same day. So, is it better for a movie to fail like that, or is it better to fail like Mortal Kombat? Because Mortal Kombat failed, got bad critical reception, and made very little money. But I can say, oh, it was the beginning of the pandemic, blah blah blah. You can mix that in there, and you can try and sweep away all the criticisms or whatever. Or is it better to just try to put something out there to make the money, even though you don't really think it's good, like the Matrix 4, and then just have it fail in front of everybody without any excuses to make. So that's will be an interesting thing for Warner Brothers to decide to do, if that is how they decide to go about it. I'm interested to see how that works out for them. If they do, of course, they haven't announced that they're doing that again, so most likely they are. But if they do that in the future, about same-day releases for certain kinds of movies, will it be movies that they don't have trust in, so that then they can say, oh, well, they failed, they didn't make too much money because people stayed home, but they did alright in the app? That will be an interesting thing to see. Does that cover everything? Let's see. I think that's about all I wanted to say. Overall, I benefited $50 from the HBOMAX deal. I saw a couple of those movies more than once because they were on HBOMAX, so that's a positive as well. What about you? Did you guys take advantage of the HBOMAX deal? Did you guys just ignore it? Did you go to the theaters anyways? Do you prefer to watch at home those movies? What other movies? I know there are a few more that I'm forgetting about. I know I saw The Conjuring. There was a Denzel Washington movie, I believe. I can't remember the name of it right now. I didn't really like it much, but that's me as well. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought. Remember to hit like, subscribe, all that kind of YouTube stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.